We are back. Another video with Maria.
Very nice being here with you. Thank you for having me, Heidi.
You're so welcome. Thank you
you.
so much for sharing your knowledge with us and
Thank you.
helping everybody learn the ins and outs of living in Portugal, visas, residencies, cryptos,
Properties.
properties.
So today we're talking about properties?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us what is new.
So, Portugal is an amazing country. We all know about that. And I guess lots of you have found that also. So they moved to Portugal, right? Everybody moved to Portugal again because the offer is less than the search. The value went super high. So renting is very difficult to find renting at normal prices. So for those who receive a minimum wage of 750 euros, they cannot afford to pay 1,500 of rent, which is the normal price in Lisbon for a one bedroom.
Yeah, that's insane.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But those who come from the US that are used to receive 10,000 euros per month, 1,500 is nothing. So that, of course, that increases the prices. I'm saying US, but I could say another country. I just came up with this one. The government, in my opinion, this is my opinion, should have found measurements, but they're amazing. All governments are amazing. So what they should have done was, okay, let's put our sleeves up and let's build buildings where we, the government, can offer better rents for the young couples, the young ones that came out of school and start working. No. So to send, we have a saying in Portugal that's called send to your eyes.
Okay.
Throw sand to your eyes.
Okay.
So to throw sand to my eyes, what have they done? They come up with 5 measurements to help decreasing the renting fees, renting fees, right?
Yeah, the prices.
The renting prices, yeah. Which doesn't work. And they are only discussing this.
Okay.
So one of the measurements was end golden visa. What does end golden visa does for you? The person that earns 750 euros per month is not going to pay, it's not going to buy a 1 million or a 500 house.
Yeah.
Simply because it's not in their dreams. They don't want to have a 5-bedroom with 5 bathrooms, tennis court, and 2 swimming pools.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not for those. Why are they giving us the golden visa? Again, to throw sand to our eyes. Why? Because golden visa, we weren't submitting that many applications. The last 2 years, it decreased. Maybe because D7 went up. D7 is a way better visa to have than the golden visa. So they were not having too many applications. If you go study the last years, the golden visas that had submitted application was for companies doing 10 jobs, was not for buying property.
Okay.
So they said, oh, here I can show some work done, and I'm going to talk about this, which makes no sense.
Okay.
Now, property owners, associations, and real estate associations are not happy with this, although they are not submitting too many applications via purchasing properties. It doesn't give a good look in the country if you say something like this. It's only because of that, mainly.
Yeah.
Because people were not applying. And then you say, oh, but Madeira, they did a harsh statement on this. Yes, they did. They said, oh, this is only done for Lisbon and Porto. Why should the entire country have to suffer with this? I don't care what you say, government of Lisbon. I want to keep my golden visa applications for Madeira. And then you ask me, can they do that? No. But I'm sure they'll find a way to negotiate their way because Madeira is Portugal. It is what it is. So if this law passes, and then we have to discuss that. This is not a law.
Yes.
This is the Council of Ministers. They all came up with these measurements and they said, we want to study these 5 measurements for a month.
Okay.
And then we came up with a law. And this law is going to be debated and voted at the Assembly. And when it's debated, voted, and approved at the Assembly, it goes to the President, and he will vote in favor or against it. And then that's when it becomes a law, if he votes in favor. So we have like 2 months to discuss this. 1 month to discuss, the other to issue, the other for him to sign, right? Okay, and the 5 measurements are end the golden visa, simplify licensing on property. This is a huge one.
Yeah.
And we hope this one goes through because you want to build a building. Some municipalities, not Nazaré. Nazaré is quite fast, actually.
Okay.
But there are other countries. Oh, Lolé in the Algarve. The municipality of Lolé, forget it.
Okay.
2 years.
Oh, whoa.
It's amazing. 3 years. It's awful. It's awful. And to get an appointment to go there to speak with somebody, Lolé is awful.
Okay.
So, they say that they are going to stop to diminish the bureaucracy. So the licenses come faster. That would make buildings to be ready in time to serve everybody. And another thing that they did, which make me very happy because I'm a big fan of, we call it modeling construction. But it's not modeling, it's the one that you do in the US with steel and wood.
Okay.
In Portugal, all our buildings are done with concrete
Yeah.
and tiles and everything, right?
Yeah.
It takes 1 year, 2 years to build. But in the US, you have another type of construction,
Okay. Yeah.
which is called, we call modular. I don't know if that's the name in...
Like a prefab home?
a
kind of?
prefab home with steel,
Yeah.
but it's quite good. It has 30 years of warranty, and the Portuguese style has 5 years. I know. 30 years. I know. It's quite fast. They can do it in some other place so they are not affected by the
Wow.
weather. Takes
Yeah.
3 months to build. In Portugal, it takes a year or two because if it's raining, you cannot work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Those, you do it in another storage facility so you can build it without caring for them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow.
I know, it's amazing. So now they are motivating people to address that kind of construction, and it's very good for earthquakes because it balances. Very good, very good. So they are simplifying licensing. They are wanting us to address that kind of construction.
Okay.
They want us owners of properties to put properties out there. And then came in the media saying, oh, those who own property and are not doing anything to the property, they have to rent it. No, if you're going to read the law, what it says is property that it's, it rains inside the building.
Yeah, like dilapidated.
There you go.
Yeah.
We call it devoluta.
Oh,
We call
okay.
it dilapidated. So you're not doing anything to the property. The property is by 10 heirs. They don't see eye to eye. So the property is there. So now the government is saying that they're going to send a letter to all those heirs and say, okay, you either get your grip together and put it out there, fix it and put it out there for renting, or we'll do that for you. But again, this is Portugal. Find it very difficult for that to happen. Okay? Human rights country, property is one of human rights. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
So they want to fight speculation on prices, and that's why they came up with the golden visa one. The golden visa doesn't make prices go up.
Yeah.
Is the old rule of demand, offer and demand.
Yeah.
It's not golden visa. Most of my clients, I do a lot of property acquisition. That's what I do the most because my office search for all legalities of the property, if it's in a bankruptcy and if it's in court, in a divorce, inheritance. Those are very important. But mostly we check in the municipality if the property has a balcony that shouldn't have, which most do, like you know. And then they have a requirement for demolition. We search all of that before the client purchase property. Our clients don't go to golden visa.
Yeah.
And they buy million euros properties, not
Yeah.
for the golden visa, just because they want and they can afford it. So this rule of ending speculation by ending golden visa makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then the fifth rule is to support families. How do they want to support families? They want banks to have mortgages, credit loans with a fixed
Interest rate?
interest rate instead of oscillating with the market. They have to have that service. They have to have that.
That's good.
And they also want to help with some funding for the citizens to pay their renting.
Okay.
And they also want to support if you decide to pay all your mortgage before you have to pay 0.5% of interest. Now you don't.
Okay.
If it's to pay your mortgage fully, you don't have to pay any taxes.
Oh, okay. So, you can
So
pay
those
it
are
off.
the 5 measures. And their goal is to offer more real estate to renting. But
Yeah.
again, in my opinion, they should government has a lot of buildings that
Yeah.
are not doing anything. Government has a lot of land that they could do those modular buildings they want us to do. So go ahead and do.
Yeah.
Instead of being corrupt
Yeah.
and stay with our money in your pockets, do that.
Yeah.
Instead of saying these 5 rules just to throw sand in our eyes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why when you told me, Maria, let's do a video about this, I told you this is quite political. Because it is. It is. The country has a problem. Like every country nowadays, the price of the rent has skyrocketed. Because we do a lot of short-term rentals. So long-term rentals are very expensive.
Yeah. Also, if you're going to be promoting tourism at all, you have to expect
It's a tourism
right?
country, right?
Yeah.
So you, the government, that's having so much money because of all these people that visit Portugal, put some of that money and build us property for those who work nearby, right? For those, so if you work in Lisbon, you don't have to drive 2 hours to go to your work.
Yeah. So,
this is
keeping an eye on
a
this
suggestion for the Prime Ministry. Build homes.
Vote for Maria.
Okay. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you for giving us a rundown, and we'll maybe check back in a couple months and see what makes it through finally and what gets signed off.
Yes, we should talk about that. They also, I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. They also talked about when you do short-term rentals, you do something called alojamento local, which is a permit. So you can do those Airbnbs and so on. And they are saying those who have it right now, they will keep it until 2030.
Oh,
Those who doesn't, they say they are going to stop that.
altogether.
Those who doesn't cannot
Wow.
be issued anymore.
Wow.
So what are we doing now? We are issuing a lot of
Yeah. For instance,
before
panic.
if this law before this law
Yeah.
passes, we are also taking care of that local short-term local permits.
Okay.
But they say they are going to address it again in 2030, which is only shoving the problem, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's not that, they're shutting down short-term rentals. No, that's not true. But they cannot decide which price you do long-term, so it is what it is. It's nothing.
Okay.
It's all political, nothing more than
developing.
that. Let's
Yeah.
not panic about this.
Yes.
No need.
Yes. Keep calm and call Maria. That's what I do. It helps. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are enjoying these updates and getting information like this about Portugal from our expert here, local expert, hit the like button. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or comments. And we'll see Maria again real soon when we have more questions.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Ciao, guys.
Bye.